Hello, everyone. I'm gonna wait a few more minutes to start, but in the meantime, let me know how my audio sounds, how my voice sounds in comparison to the music. If there's good balance or any issues, let me know. Cool. I'm gonna go do something and then I'll start. But I'll be back in a few minutes. Hello. First of all, I got a haircut, and I don't like my hair being this short. I like my hair being sort of medium. I feel like when Justin Bieber was the big thing when I was like in middle school, I was like, I want to be like that kid, and so that kind of bowl cut, has always been what but my hair's too wavy. I don't know what to do with my hair. Anyway, this is the biggest stream I've had so far by far. 365 people here currently. That's great. My subscriber count, I hit 100K. Oh, what's that? This came in the mail not too long ago, and so thank you all for that. I hit 100K just before June, and now I'm almost gonna hit 150,000. So that's bonkers. Thank you very much. I just realized I didn't even make my bed. That's embarrassing. But yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm trying to I want to hit 150K before the end of this month, and I feel like I'm just gonna make it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. But yeah, so yeah, that's really cool. Thank you. I'm doing this full time now, so that's awesome. I really appreciate that. Sorry, I haven't even been reading chat. What's that hand thingy? This is a smudge guard, so my hand is on the tablet. My sweat doesn't get all over it. My sweat still seeps through, but I've used this for so long that I like need to wear one of these when I'm drawing on anything. Like when I went on a vacation recently, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just bring some like a clipboard with paper and just, you know, practice like actual arty art. But I forgot to bring this, so like my hand was like, there's just something that feels wrong about not wearing this, even when I'm just drawing on paper. So like my hand would like cramp up when I try to draw. It doesn't feel right to me. So yeah. Can we see your cat? I have two cats. One of them is here right now. This is Georgie, and he does not want to be held. My cats don't like being held at all. They're not super cuddly, but I can tell they like me because they like to be around me, but they're not super like affectionate in super obvious ways, which is disappointing, but I'm kind of like that. So it's what I deserve, I guess. Who's your favorite Greek god? My favorite Greek god is Hephaestus. I don't know why. He doesn't do much, but I don't know. He seems like a nice fella. All right, I should probably go into... So, what I'm doing today is, this is a program called Blender, and originally I did my mythology animations in this program, Adobe Animate. Adobe Animate is... So, like... in terms of UI design and in terms of like the actual like what the tools are intended to do, I would say Adobe Animate is very good. It's very easy to learn how to use, and you can do like it has pretty much everything you need to make cool animations. It's just not worth $20 a month. It is buggy. It's lagging behind so many other better programs, and it's just frustrating to use. So I switched to Blender, which is a program that I've toyed around with for a long time. And a few years ago they introduced, it's traditionally a 3D animation program, but a few years ago they introduced Grease Pencil as a full-on 2D animation tool, and it's awesome. It can be difficult for people to learn, but it's just really, I'm super happy with it. I just like Blender in general. I feel like I work a little more slowly in it, but I'm just so much more happy with the results. And I just like the design of Blender as a piece of software better. Like the user experience of Blender, because with Adobe Animate, what'll frustrate you is just bugs. It's so buggy, and the things you wanted to do, it's just not gonna do. Even the drawing tools suck. Like you'll try to draw, let me try to draw like a straight, oh my god, I don't even remember the shortcuts. Let me just try to draw like a clean line, and it's probably gonna work perfectly fine. But like it's probably gonna work perfectly fine this time, but like if you draw like a really long line, try to draw it slow and smooth, it just, okay, it turned out fine that time, but it'll just mess up your line right after you draw, and it's just so frustrating. And so anything that goes wrong with Adobe Animate, you know it's the program's fault. Whereas with Blender, I'll occasionally get into situations where it's like, I don't know why when I can't, it's not letting me draw. I don't know why it's not letting me do this. But then I'll figure out what was going wrong. It was like, oh, it was my fault. I forgot something. And so when something goes wrong with it, I'm blaming myself and not the program. And I just find that less frustrating. So, yeah. What playlist do you use? This is Stream Beats. It's like music that's made to be like copyright free for use on streams. It's on Spotify. It's on everything. This is the lo-fi playlist, Stream Beats. Is my music kind of too loud? I can turn it down. What is on my hand? This is a drawing glove. It's a smudge guard to keep my tablet from getting sweat all over it. Favorite Norse god? Odin. I think Odin is a very interesting character. Like, if this is not something in the works, obviously but I think it would be cool to make like a Norse mythology series from the perspective of Odin, because I just think as a character he's very interesting. Like, because obviously there's so little, like ultimately we don't know 99% of Norse mythology because it's all just lost and we only can read interpretations from later writers. But Odin is just so, the stuff he does, you want to like figure out what is psychologically going on with him that he makes the choices he does. I don't know. Anyway, so getting carried away. My Egyptian mythology video I made in Blender. It was the first project I did in Blender, and I really liked it. And so now I just want to use Blender for all my mythology videos. But that means I have to redraw all the characters I've already drawn in for previous videos. And I mean, not all of them. Like, I'm probably not going to have to draw characters who are just from one video, but you know, the main Greek pantheon, definitely, like all the Olympians and everyone. So since that's going to be a tedious thing, I figure I should stream it and just turn it into content. Do you know about a program called Fire Alpaca? Yeah, but I've never used it. For like traditional digital art, I use Paint Tool Sai. And yeah, I'm not taking drawing requests. I'm redrawing characters from Greek mythology that I've already drawn because I'm gonna need to use them in future videos. So so far I've mostly just drawn I made the Metis video that was done in Blender. So most of the characters I've already drawn were characters I used for the Metis video. Meat ass. Do you ever plan on redesigning how you draw Hades? I don't want to seem rude. I think you could do much more with him. I like the way I draw Hades. And now, like, I guess now, like, I just want it to be like a meme that everyone hates how Hades looks, but I never change it. Okay, wait, hold on. I need to make a poll. I need to make a poll real quick. Okay, so I'm making this poll. I need to know how you interpret Hades. Is he just a head? Does he just have just a head and really long legs? Or is he a skinny guy in a cloak? He's like covered by the cloak. How do you interpret Hades? Because I got a lot of people confused. I think that's the reason a lot of people don't like how I draw Hades, is they just don't know what to make of him. Yes, he looks very Squidward. He looks even more Squidward this way that I've drawn it. It's just, his cheekbones. I originally removed the seam in a video. Yeah, in my Persephone video, I removed the seam. So now I feel like he looks more like he's kind of wrapped in something. But now I feel like the way I've drawn it makes it a little more clear. So I brought the seam back. What do you think about old Semitic paganism? I don't know. I don't have an opinion because I don't know anything about it. Okay, I guess I should start, drawing. I figured I would start. So my favorite designs that I've done was when I was redrawing all these gods, I started with Hephaestus because Hephaestus is my favorite god. And so far, I really like all my designs because they look a lot better than the original designs from Adobe Animate, but I don't think most people will notice that they're different. I feel like they still have the same vibe. They're just more refined. And I feel like that's when you redesign something, that's kind of what you want. You don't want people to notice that something changed, but you still want it to be better. And I feel like I'm achieving that so far. Like my Hephaestus design, who was the first god I designed. Where is he? There he is. Yeah, this was the first god I designed. And then I feel like, it's an improvement. Oh yeah, I also made the colors just a lot more vibrant. The colors, I just have a natural tendency when coloring to use really, really muted colors. So now I'm using more vibrant colors. I have to consciously correct for my instinct to go with muted colors. Anyway, so the second character I remember designing was Ares. So I'm going to draw Ares now. And yeah, we're just going to chill. I'll probably go quiet a lot when I'm focusing on drawing, but, we'll have a chill. Over 500 people here. That's bonkers. I'm just going to read chat again real quick. All right. Okay. We're drawing. And now that there's so many people here, so many new people here, you're all going to learn that I'm a complete hack when it comes to art. I just use a bunch of shape tools. I just copy and flip stuff. That's why I made a style for these videos. I sort of formed a style where it looks bad, but it's funny that it looks bad. That's the whole idea for these videos. Why is Hades so skinny compared to his brothers? He's just a skinny boy. He's just a very skinny boy. So yeah, I whenever I stream, I say like I'm gonna stream more in the near future, and then I never do. I need to be better about that. But I realize that I should probably stop, you know, saying anything that will indicate how much when I might stream again. But hopefully I'll start streaming. I've been wanting to stream games, because that's what the cool kids do, and I feel like art streams aren't super popular among streamers. So I thought it would be more fun to play games and stuff, and I have a game in mind that I would want to play on stream, but I feel like at the moment that would be a little outside of the typical scope of my channel, but I think that'll change soon, because I intend to start making videos not just explaining mythology, but also explaining like lore from just modern media. And I have something in mind that I want to do soon, but I don't know. I'm gonna draw his head first. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it quick enough, because there's like, I want it to line up with a thing that's gonna come out fairly soon. So if I can get the timing right. What other mythology series are you planning? I'm not gonna say, because currently nothing at the moment. Like, I don't have anything in mind right now in terms of like mythology at the moment, but I feel like most of everything is on the table. Oh yeah, another thing I love about Blender is there's so many shortcuts for everything, and I got this like macro pad, the Razer Tartarus Pro, and so now I can make macros to like do stuff that normally requires like a bunch of shortcuts, like a string of shortcuts, but now I can just make it one button press, like this one to flip stuff, because normally to flip something in Blender, you go with a shortcut, you go R, then you select what axis you want, so in this case it would be Z, and then it would be 180 for 180 degrees. But now I can just do that in one button press. Yeah, Ares is one of my other favorite designs because he's just screaming. I have never played Hades. I've heard very, very good things about it, especially from like the perspective of like if you're into Greek mythology. I'm sure I will. I like roguelikes, so I'm sure I would enjoy it. These are male nipples. Don't TSO me. Oh, also, one thing I want to know, how did everyone like my video on Metis? I've been trying to figure out for a while how to do videos with a more, I don't want to say educational, because like I don't have like, I feel a little misleading about describing myself as an educational YouTuber, because like I don't have a degree. I just and I'm really not an expert in anything at all. How did I just like, I'll just pick a topic and then find everything I can on that one specific topic to make a video on it. But it's not like I already have a wealth of information on anything. But anyway, a lot of people ask questions that like aren't something that like I would make cartoon video to address. So I've been for a while now trying to figure out a way of making more straightforwardly educational videos. And so then I came up with that format of basically of basically like shooting a vlog. So it's me, not as a cardboard cutout, and then it will, and then on the side there's the cartoons, but it's not like super detailed or anything, you know? And I'm hoping, and it seems like everyone liked that. So I'm hoping I can do more of those, because I can make those a lot faster than the full-on videos. I don't want those to replace the I try to explain mythology cartoons, but that is something like I can put out while I'm spending time working on a cartoon. I can make one of those vlogs as supplemental content. Views on Percy Jackson. It's very good. It's what got me interested in Greek mythology. I hope the show is good. I don't know if it's gonna be like... I'm curious if it'll be something that like me as an adult would enjoy, or if it's more targeted at kids, because, you know, they're ultimately kids' books. But I'm a little disappointed. Like, I would like to see it be an animated series, because that's what I always imagined in my head. Like, I have a very vivid idea of what like a Percy Jackson animated series would look like. And I feel like it's like that's a pretty obvious way of going, but have you read the Eddas, or did you just search around on the internet? Yeah, I've read I haven't like sat down and read through the entire like poetic Edda or the prose Edda. I have them right here. I have multiple copies of them, different translations of them right here. And I haven't like sat down and just like from beginning to end read the whole thing, but I will go to them to search for the information that I need for the subject I'm covering. And I'll read like whatever is relevant for whatever relevant information I need. Again, like that's something I hope comes across in my more educational videos where I like actually talk about sources and stuff, is that you don't need to just look on the internet to learn about this stuff. It's all in books. We have all the information just in, like, you can just read the sources for Norse mythology, just read the Eddas, for Greek mythology, just read Homer and Hesiod and all that. It's all there. And like people will get, like, what really bugs me is, and I almost want to make a whole video talking about this, where someone will, like, I'll explain something and someone will say, well, there are many different versions of that myth, which is true, but you can't just say there are many different versions and leave it at that. Like, what version are you referring to? Because you can find that version. Like, it's, oh my God, like, it's a thing I just see over and over again with the story of Persephone. As far as I'm aware, the oldest source for the story of Persephone is Homeric hymn number 2 to Demeter. I pronounced Demeter correctly this time. And people will be like, well, actually, there's an older version where da-da-da-da-da. But it's like, no, there isn't. I mean, there might have been. Sure, there might have been an older version with anything, but we don't have an older version. So it really bugs me when people use, when discussing mythology, when people will have whatever their interpretation is and they'll defend their interpretation, which you shouldn't have to defend. If it's your interpretation, you don't need to defend it. But people will try to defend their interpretations based on the idea that, oh, there are many different versions, but okay, then, like, show me that version. Have you thought of getting an editor / fact checker to review your scripts? I consult people on the Overly Sarcastic Productions Discord. It's a Discord channel for the YouTube channel Overly Sarcastic Productions that also makes fun videos about mythology. Makes you wonder where I get my inspiration from. They have a Discord channel where there's lots of people who do have, like, academic credentials in this stuff, like relating to mythology and history and stuff. And I'm basically, whenever I'm writing something, I'm always asking around there for help finding sources and stuff. And so and I credit the people who I regularly consult with in the description of my videos. For Norse mythology, I consult with Adam B. from Ludo History, who I've had on a video of mine. He was the guy on my Norse mythology misconceptions video. And then for Greek mythology, there's this guy. I'm blanking on his name. God damn it. His name is John. I forgot his last name. Is it John? I'm pretty sure. Oh no. Anyway, you can find his name in the description of my videos. I feel so bad now. I believe he's like a museum curator. And Ludo History is like a historical scholar. Are you drawing on a drawing tablet? Yes. This is a drawing. This is a Wacom Cintiq. If you're looking to start digital art, don't get a display tablet. Just get a regular, boring tablet that doesn't have a screen on it, and you'll hate it. It'll be really hard to get used to, but once you get used to it, then you're good to go, and you don't need to spend like several $100s on a display tablet. Like functionally, there's display tablets don't offer any extra functionality. They're just easier to get used to. So I regret not just sticking it out, learning how to use a regular tablet. I'm drawing super slowly because I'm focusing on talking, but I've been just trying to figure out this leg for what feels like an hour. What's your favorite Greek god? It's Hephaestus. Why are Ares' chest imbalanced? So yeah, that's the thing. I suck at perspective, but he's off to the side. Like they're all like kind of, it's like a 3/4 angle, and I cheat it. Like this is not. Oh gee, I wonder who this is. Like I'm obviously not following super strict perspective rules, but it makes sense that there's foreshortening going on. So that's what I'm trying to convey, at least. Again, I'm not a great artist. I'm just good at making art that looks bad in a funny way. Why does Odin have no fingers? Because I was lazy when I was drawing him, so I just drew him with ball hands, like fucking Animal Crossing. Does it look better with a... Yeah, I guess it does look better with this chest just symmetrical. How do you animate the drawings? I literally, like, the way I do these videos was designed, like the style of these videos was designed to be extremely easy to animate, because I literally just draw the characters once and then just puppet them around. Just move like that's why they draw, just they move, they talk like, hey, what's up? This is me talking. Like Jake, how did you come up with your art style? Art style is just the way you want to draw combined with the stuff you are and aren't good at. That's what art style is. It's just what you think looks cool combined with your natural quirks. Though in this case, this was kind of there was for these videos, there was definitely an intent behind it, which was behind the style, which was to look bad in a charming way, which is because I know that if I tried to make something that just looks good on its own, probably wouldn't look very great because I'm just not the best artist in the world. What do you think about modern religious worship of the Greek gods? I don't really see how it's different from any other religion. What got you interested in mythology? Probably Percy Jackson. Have you watched Record of Ragnarok? Nope. I guess Horus is my favorite Egyptian god, which is super basic. I don't know, he's cool. I'm not super opinionated on Egyptian mythology because I just don't really know nearly as much about it compared to other stuff. What's your favorite Norse myth? It is the story of Utgard and Loki. When Thor and Loki go to Utgard. Like, I think it's just the most like fun story in Norse mythology. Like, it's funny and there's like multiple stages. It's just I don't know, like I feel like it just works as the best story. Like, all the characters have pretty distinct personalities, except for Loki. Surprisingly, Loki in that story I think displays the least amount of personality. But Thor is really funny in it. Utgard and Loki is really funny. It's just a really good, really funny story. Like, I want to do that story eventually, but I feel like I won't really have to like do much to play up the humor because it's already funny. What's your next video, or is it a surprise? I don't know. I don't know what my next video might be. I guess it'll have to be a surprise. Though I will say my next video probably won't be another. My next video will probably be something more like the Metis video. I'm probably gonna like start making those to fill up the space in between my cartoons, my like full-on cartoons, because they're just faster to make. so I can just make more content. And it doesn't really interrupt me working on the cartoons. What design do I like the least? Oh god. Is there a design I'm frustrated with? I might like rethink how I do Dionysus. Mostly because just big characters are a little frustrating to work with. Like Thor is a pain in the ass to work with because he's so big that it's just hard to like fit him on screen with other characters. Same with Ares, but I just like Ares' design so much that whatever. But yeah, I might change up Dionysus. All of the Titans look really boring, except for I love Oceanus, I love Hyperion, and I love Mnemosyne. And then Cronus is fine too. But all the other ones look boring because the Titans are kind of boring because most of them weren't like worshipped as deities ever. They're just characters that were created to kind of explain who was in charge before the Olympians. How many people here would be interested if I were streaming a game? If I were playing a game on stream? Because I feel like that would be fun. Especially because like I'm very self-conscious drawing on screen admittedly. I'm very upfront about the fact that I'm not an amazing artist, but I feel like I'm especially shitty when I know that I'm being watched. And then I'm like, oh man, it's taking me like an embarrassingly long time to draw this when I know I would have drawn it way quicker if I wasn't streaming. So I would like an excuse to do something else on stream. Though the thing is, if I were to stream games, I would want to stream games that I wouldn't normally play for fun. Because when I'm playing games for fun, it's a very like relaxing experience usually. Like usually I have like a podcast or an audiobook I'm on. Like right now, I picked up Minecraft again, and I'm getting through the Lord of the Rings books, and it's the highlight of my day. To just sit down for like 2 hours, listen to Lord of the Rings, and play Minecraft. Just like really slow, really like like all I'm doing in Minecraft is just like digging out a quarry, and it's the best thing ever. And not only would that probably not be super entertaining to watch, it would also just kind of spoil what for me is just a very relaxing, pleasant time of my day. Because streaming is fun, but it's not relaxing. I'm very like hyper conscious of myself and everything, so I wouldn't want to. I feel like it would ruin the enjoyment of the games the enjoyment of the typical games I play to stream while doing that. So instead, I would try to find games that I wouldn't normally play, but that would, I imagine, would be entertaining to watch. So like lots of story-driven games. I normally don't play super story-driven games because I'm normally like listening to a podcast or an audiobook while playing. Try Assassin's Creed. That might actually be fun. Xenoblade, I hate JRPGs, honestly. JRPGs are like the antithesis of fun to me, to be completely honest. And Xenoblade seems like the JRPG of JRPGs. Playing Pokemon might be fun. Like a Nuzlocke stream. Yeah, Assassin's Creed, like, because I know there's like, I think it's like DLC for like Odyssey and Ragnarok and those ones where they like bring in the Greek gods and shit, which is hilarious because I know Assassin's Creed was originally more of like a very presented itself as like a very historical game, but that would be fun. And yeah, I don't normally play. I've played a little Assassin's Creed, and what I did was like I played a little bit of the first Assassin's Creed a long time ago, and what I did was I just dicked around. Like I just I completely forgot about the story and just like ran around buildings and killing people and stuff. Good times. Yeah, God of War, definitely. Yeah, I could totally see God of War. Yeah. I need a PS5. Though I know the recent God of War is on PC now, I think, or it's gonna be on PC. Shout out to Alana Pierce, who's a writer on God of War Ragnarok. I don't know her, I just like her videos, so shout out. Good YouTuber. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I that's a game like I would play for enjoyment, so I feel like I would, at least starting out, have to pick a game that has some correlation to mythology, but not Hades, because I would really love, I know I would like Hades, so I wouldn't play Hades. Like, I would want to play Hades just by myself. Okay, I think I don't hate this. He looks pretty much the same as his original version. If it ain't broke. A lot of people want me to play Cuphead. I've tried Cuphead. I'm not good at it for sure. Why is Demeter so chubby? Because she's a fertility goddess. So I feel like, you know, she's eating good. I feel like of all gods to be a little chubby, I feel like Demeter makes the most sense. Oh yeah, another thing I love about Blender is I can have like a texture to the line. You see how it's kind of jaggedy, whereas in Adobe Animate, well, you can't see the lines because in Adobe Animate, the lines are just dead. They're just very straight, clean, which, you know, isn't bad, but specifically, I feel like having my lines be kind of sketchy like this, like kind of a rough brush, lends to or a pencil line lends to the idea that they're just kind of like poorly drawn little figures. Do you save the drawings in like a library? Yes. So another thing I love about Blender is they've got an asset library. So when I'm done drawing any character, I can select them and put them in the library. So any file I'm working on, I can just drag and drop. Where do you go? Where do the doors go? Oh, I'm in drawing mode, that's why. I can just drag and drop them into the scene and boom. So yeah, super useful. Yeah. Yeah, Undertale. Could totally do Undertale. Because Undertale is a game I played a little bit a while ago. I'm just really bad at finishing games. I think that's why I gravitate towards some games like Minecraft that don't really have an ending to them. But I played like through literally like the tutorial phase of Undertale and then fell off. Like literally, like the last thing I did was I met Sans and then I stopped playing. Not because I didn't like the game, but just because I suck at committing to games. So yeah, Undertale would be a good one. Any game that would give me like a lot to react to. Like with a story I could get invested in. Where I could be like, whoa, thumbnail. Yeah, horror game, that would be good. Yeah. Again, I should try to find something at least adjacently related to mythology. That would be smart. Seen a lot of Genshin. Is Genshin just like... All I know about Genshin is that it's a gacha game for like how you get the characters. But what is like the actual gameplay? Like, is it... Because when it was first revealed, it just looked like a Breath of the Wild clone. And I like Breath of the Wild. And so like... If it's just more or less free to play Breath of the Wild with maybe some more JRPG-ish mechanics, that doesn't sound like a bad time. I'm curious if, I don't know if I'll ever play Genshin. It doesn't sound like something I would stream, but, I'm curious if I did, if I'd just be happy with whatever you can do in the game for free, or if I would be, because I don't normally play, I have never played a gacha game, and I'm normally not super into like microtransactions and stuff. So I'm curious if my weak will would be just completely sucked in, or if I wouldn't really care. Because we all know everyone is a sucker for advertising, except for me. I am the only free thinker in the world, and I am immune to propaganda. People only buy things they don't need because they're idiots, and I'm smart. I'm being sarcastic, I just want to be clear. I watched They Live once. No, I watched a video essay about They Live. Therefore, propaganda doesn't work on me. Whoa, I got a donation. What? Oh, geez. Oh, $10. Your vids made me binge a ton of Greek mythology vids. Love your art style. Thank you, Frank Pined 93. Oh my God. Thank you. I appreciate you. I feel really bad. How long ago did this happen? Thank you. Wait, can I figure out how? Okay, that was just a couple minutes ago. Okay, I thought that happened a while ago and I was worried. Okay, I'm seeing Five Nights at Freddy's, and I don't know. I guess like I feel like Five Nights at Freddy's wouldn't do anything for me. Like I just don't find. I feel like I'm long past finding like creepypasta style. Oh, it's a child-friendly fun thing, but it's actually possessed by a demon. I don't think I'm capable of finding that kind of stuff like creepy or effective in any way. I guess I just grew up in a time when that was like super oversaturated with like creepypastas, and I don't know. Okay, should I keep Ares' nipples red? Because okay, so here's did I close Adobe Animate? Okay, no. I gave him red nipples, which is disturbing. I guess they're more just like, you know, pepperoni nipples. He's Greek. But now I feel like the style that I've been more consistent with is the nipples are just a little darker than the skin tone. So should I be consistent with that? I don't know. I'll try them both maybe. Ares was already fairly vibrant. Most of the other characters were colored way too muted, but colors are all right. Immortals Phoenix Rising. That looks like a pretty fun game. That looks like a game I would play for fun. Okay, skin tone. skin tone, chicken bone, leave me alone. Brighter. Okay, I'm gonna start with just normal person nipples. This is the frustrating thing with grease pencil is filling in using the fill tool is pretty, like, it can be frustrating because there's a lot of leak points when you draw. But there's this cool there's a lot of tools within the fill tool to kind of help compensate. Like, there's this one tool, stroke extension, where it creates these extra lines when it fills in to try to, but it's still not where it doesn't always work. It's just so, just kind of have to hunt for the where it's leaking out. Ugh. Yeah, I'm just gonna, sometimes you just gotta separate it out. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I just kind of have to portion out his limbs and fill them in separately. And then it'll be easier to zero in on... Oh, okay. Cool. But then sometimes there's like a visible seam. You gotta look closely. But I don't think that's showing. His nipples could be darker. That's more like it. I think I'll go with that. Okay, now for the head. What's my least favorite Greek god? I don't really have one. I don't know, they're all fun. I will say, and I might make a video on this. I see a lot of people talking about about Hades. Because if you only know Greek mythology from like modern media, you get the impression that Hades in Greek mythology is like a bad guy, that he's like the villain of Greek myth, that he's like the big bad of Greek mythology, which absolutely isn't true. Like, he's never depicted in Greek mythology as being jealous of Zeus or anything like that, even though that's usually how he's depicted in a lot of media. You know, he's not the Greek equivalent of Satan or anything like that. And when you start learning about Greek mythology, you realize that he's totally misrepresented. And then I feel like people kind of get a reverse misconception about Hades, where they think like, oh no, he's just a super normal, nice guy. But that's also not true, because, you know, he's the god of the dead, and in Greek mythology, being dead sucks. Like, the Greeks had a very negative view on death, and you could say that's largely because Hades doesn't care about you. Like, he doesn't care about making death a good experience. and the Greeks were afraid of Hades. Like they didn't like to say his name, stuff like that. Like he's clearly like, I almost want to say like a boogeyman. Like that's kind of how he comes off. But I'm not. I would have to do a lot more research and a lot more writing to come up with a video idea where I like address that. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of E's. Not a fan. How do I just ban the word the letter E? I don't know how to moderate a chat. Yeah, I don't know how to stop the E. Okay, I think the E's have stopped. Oh, there's an E. Stop. I'm gonna report anyone who says E. Oh, there's an E. Wet cat poop. I'm very disappointed in you. Whatever. I can't figure out how to use the moderation tools right now. There we go. That looks nice. Like I've said, I don't really have a least favorite god in anything. Like, I don't really... Obviously, in my videos, you know, I make jokes and stuff like, haha, Zeus is horny, he cheats on his wife. But when I'm, like, you know, reading about mythology, I understand that they come from cultures with very different standards. Like the ancient Greeks didn't see Zeus as like some horny dumbass. Like he's the chief god. They just had like a very different idea of what, you know, a healthy relationship looks like and how women are to be treated, and they also had a different idea of what is and isn't okay for a god to do, because gods don't have to follow the same rules as humans. That's another video I want to make, kind of trying to... The challenge of trying to adapt mythology for a modern audience that was created originally for an ancient audience that had very different moral standards than we do today, because we see Zeus as a very flawed character, but that's not necessarily how the Greeks saw him, because they had a whole different idea of like who Zeus is supposed to be. Like, people will say that, you know, Disney got Zeus all wrong because he's a nice, friendly dad. But that's kind of what Zeus is supposed to be in Greek mythologies. He's supposed to be the father of the gods. He's supposed to be the image of what an ideal father looks like, which sounds ridiculous to us, but not to an ancient Greek necessarily. Oh, yeah. Do you believe in Greek religion? Not personally. Who's your favorite Greek demigod? Mine is Perseus. Mine is also Perseus, but obligatory, I want to point out that the whole demigod thing, that is just straight up, that's just from Percy Jackson. Like, the sons, the children of gods are not by default anything more than regular humans, at least like on a biological level. Like, they're special, you know, because their parents are gods and all that, but they don't like have powers, at least not by default, because, you know, there's Heracles, there's Dionysus. Like, there are exceptions for sure, but the general rule is that, you know, they're just regular people, physically at least, but, you know, they have the blessing of their parents on their side, so they usually accomplish great things. I'm trying to change this, but I can't. This is the other frustrating. This is why in Blender you're supposed to typically use a separate layer for coloring, and I don't do that. Now I'm paying the price. What are your thoughts on Journey to the West? I've never read it. I know it's probably something that would make a good video, so obviously I'll check it out at some point. Percy Jackson is a fun series, but it is so much damage to people's understanding of the myths. I guess sort of, but I feel like there would be a lot fewer people into Greek mythology at all if not for Percy Jackson. So, like, I think Percy Jackson is a net positive for mythology, for Greek mythology. I think I want his spikes to be smaller. Jake, are you gonna remake Svadilfari and Sleipnir like the... And what do you mean? Like, draw them again? I'll probably draw Sleipnir if I... Yeah, because Sleipnir will be is in other myths. I think just one other myth now that I think about it. But yeah, yeah, I'll probably redraw Sleipnir so it's clearer that he has 8 legs, because in that video... there are 3 horses in that video, and I draw them all from side profile, so you only see 2 of their legs. So for Sleipnir, he has 8 legs, so I drew 4 of his legs because he's from side profile. So you see 4 of his legs, and then you're left to assume that there are other legs behind their legs. But in that video, every commenter was like, you didn't know that Sleipnir has 8 legs. But it's like, no, I say he has 8 legs. I describe Sleipnir as having 8 legs, but he's just from the side, so you only see 4 of his legs. So yeah, I'll have to... I don't want to fundamentally change his design, because that would be admitting that I made a shitty design choice. But yeah, I should probably find a way to make it more clear that he is, in fact, an 8-legged horse. Are you ever gonna make a Heracles video? A video about Heracles? I don't know. I just don't know if that would make a good video. I don't see the potential there. So probably not. Probably never. Yeah, that's the thing. Blender is a 3D program, so what it looks like I'm drawing on a 2-dimensional plane, I'm actually drawing in 3D space. Have you ever played God of War? No. Dionysus was god on birth because Zeus raised him for a while Heracles was breastfed by Hera, giving him super strength. Yep. So, yeah. The whole idea of demigods, of the children of gods being demigods, that's not really a thing in Greek mythology, and there are exceptions, but those exceptions kind of have explanations behind them, like Dionysus was technically birthed by Zeus inside his leg, so that's where he kind of absorbed some of the godly powers and was born as a god. And then Heracles, he drank Hera's milk, and that's typically what people assume gave him his strength. So it wasn't like they just automatically have magical powers. Like Perseus, just a normal person. He's just, a hero because, his dad is a god. Who is the strongest Greek god? It's Zeus, except when it's not Zeus. That's the answer. Like, this isn't death. Mythology isn't death battle. Like, it's really pointless to try and rank gods by strength, because gods are as powerful or as weak as they need to be for whatever story they're in. Oh, you know what I could do? What I could do for yeah, I'll see if this works. For there's a way to do, so now I got to do, because in this Ares, his head shakes like that, and I could just animate that. That's totally something you can do in Blender, but there's a different way to do it procedurally that I think could be good. Oh yeah, the other thing I want to do is another thing I love about Blender is the noise modifier. This is what it looks like by default. Very abstract and artsy. And I made a macro just to fill in all the settings because they're the same every time. Bada bing, bada boom. Easy as that. But now with the noise modifier, with the settings I just used, the lines are just kind of wobbly. So it kind of looks like I'm redrawing it over and over, but I'm not. Can a Greek god die? No, they cannot. I'm pretty sure, I think theoi, the word for god, might mean like deathless. I think that might be what it actually means. Don't quote me on that, but no, they can't die. Opinion on Apollo, bisexual king. Whoa, $15. Thank you from History is Good. Thank you. I appreciate you. There will be a downfall of Greek gods, kind of like Ragnarok. I don't think there's anything like that in Greek mythology. I don't know where that comes from. Could you give Hermes curly white hair? I've already done Hermes. He's right here. What is your sexuality? Straight. Girls are pretty cool. Dudes, so like I can look at a dude and be like, damn, that's a hot dude. But then I think about like doing things with that dude and it's like, nah. Oh, for another $5 from Frank Pine 93. Quick question. What's your reference for Rhea for explaining Greek mythology? I love her character design. I love her character design too. And there is really like, again, most of the Titan gods there isn't much information on because like most of them just serve to explain where other gods came from. But I love this design from her, and I basically just the idea is I just wanted her to look like really timid, basically. I just thought it was, I don't know, we don't get a sense for her personality in any sources. I just like the idea that she's just kind of sadly watching her children get devoured, and she's just like, oh, okay. I don't know, but yeah, I love the design too. Doesn't Pan die in the mist? Yeah, it's I'm not 100% sure where the death of Pan comes from. That's something I would have to look into. I think it's like kind of vague what was going on there and what it's supposed to mean. Thoughts on Burger King? Okay, do you follow me on Twitter? Because I tweeted about Burger King. I think I went to Burger King like once when I was a very small child, so I don't have much of an opinion on Burger King. But I was weirded out because, you know, Burger King is a major player in the fast food industry. You know, it's Burger King, right? Like, you'd kind of, from the outside, it seems like they're like the Pepsi to McDonald's Coke. But I never hear of anyone going there. And a lot of people just say that it's gross. So I'm like, what's up? And so I went to Burger King with a friend who likes Burger King. She's like the only person I've met who says like she likes Burger King. And I was fully prepared to be like, all right, to just discover this diamond in the rough that is Burger King. So I got myself a bacon Whopper, got the chicken fries. I know, okay, even people who hate Burger King say the chicken fries slap. They're really meh. Like they were nothing special as far as I was concerned. And then the burger, not into, because I guess the patties are they're flame grilled as opposed to grilled on a flat top. And I guess I've just had too many like really mediocre barbecue burgers, but it just like immediately reminded me of that kind of burger, and I'm not into it. My favorite burgers are like smashed or like thin crispy patties, like Shake Shack, P. Terry's, In-N-Out. P. Terry's is a chain here in Texas. I think they're like only in Central Texas, but and yeah, In-N-Out. Shake Shack is probably my favorite burger, but they're like a rung above typical fast food. Like they're more expensive and just they just have like a nicer vibe. Shake Shack is great. So yeah, that's my rant on but yeah, Burger King, I don't understand how Burger King is in business. They're so bad. Do you think Greek mythology is set in Greece or everywhere? I mean, most Greek myths say where they take place. Most of them take place kind of vaguely during oh god, I don't have like I believe Bronze Age. Basically, the terminology might be wrong, but there's Bronze Age Greek civilization with civilizations like Mycenae and Crete and Minoan Crete. Those were seemingly prosperous civilizations that just kind of died out for reasons we don't fully know. And then there's the Greek Dark Ages, and then I believe archaic Greece followed that, and that's when we start getting most of our sources for Greek mythology. That's when like Homer and Hesiod lived. And so basically the Greek people of archaic Greece just kind of had this vague idea that that a few centuries ago things were like really awesome and it was just like this prosperous civilization. And so most Greek myths take place just sort of in that vague past that they sort of remembered where things were better. And so that's when like all the heroes and stuff lived. So most Greek myths, there is like they say where they take place, usually like in Crete or Mycenae or Thebes. But as for like the Greek gods, the way I design them, like clearly they don't all just look like Greek people, because I imagine like they're not just the gods of Greece, they're the gods of the world. So what god do you hate most? Mine is Hermes. What's your problem with Hermes? Also, I don't really have a least favorite god. Are you someday gonna do Slavic mythology? Maybe, if there's like enough information on it. I know like European paganism, I feel like a lot has been lost to the point where there's like not much point in making videos on them, because it's like there's just not enough information to work with. So I don't know what the case is for Slavic mythology, but if there's like enough information to work with, then sure, I could see that happening. Okay. Now I'm gonna do some real movie magic. Noise modifier. Different noise, not the same noise modifier. Can you see what I'm doing? That might be better to see what I'm doing. Oh, wait. Don't want the Y location. Ooh. Okay, so that might be a little much. Let's see if we can tone that down. Maybe tone it way down. Okay. I feel like the proportions on the axes are different. This is gonna be like a lot of me just muttering to myself trying to figure this out, because I haven't worked very much with this stuff, tool and Blender. Okay, I think I want it lower strength on the z-axis. Oh no, that's the x-axis. Not rapid enough. No, I don't even see it. Yeah, I guess this is not working the way I want it to. I'll scrap this. Yeah, I was hoping that would work, but it's not really. I'll just do it by hand. How would you describe... Ooh! What about Persephone? Any reference to her design? Again, top tier design, especially in the goth form. Yeah, I just literally just was like, okay, she's not the goddess of spring, but she's definitely very associated with spring. Thank you for the $5, by the way. So I basically was just like, okay, she'll have her spring form, her spring cottagecore form, and then her goth form. Could you do more Egyptian mythology? I'm sure I will. Just, you know, doing things as they come, as my ideas come. How would you describe Zeus's intelligence? The Iliad calls him brilliant all the time, but I don't think anyone thinks of him that way. We might not think of him that way, because to us he just seems like he's a horny dumbass. But to the Greeks, you know, he's... Like, I think Hesiod all the time uses the, calls him Zeus, whose designs never fail. So yeah, I think to the Greeks he was very intelligent. Like, I feel like the main traits of Zeus is that nobody can outsmart him, except when someone does. That's the thing with mythology, and why it's hard to kind of understand certain aspects about how people viewed gods, is because there's always like exceptions. But yeah, I think to the Greeks, Zeus was intelligent. He's the wisest of all the gods, pretty much. And again, I realize to us it doesn't seem that way, but to the Greeks, it would. Ah, jeez. I was making all those keyframes and it didn't have the hair color selected. Okay, let's try that again. Wait. Okay, there. Oh, jeez. Go ahead, keep doing... Okay. I have to select everything and then duplicate the keyframes, and then everything will be selected when I... Good lord. There we go. Okay. Should have no issues now. This is just me making his head shake. Okay, let's see how that looks. Okay, I think I'll duplicate that and then just add a few frames where his head just goes like way off. Now I'm going to use the time offset modifier, which will loop the animation. And then I'll just keep going. Yeah, that looks good. I might do some finessing, but yeah, that looks good. I wonder if he'll ever make a video on the story of Kratos from the game series, not from Greek mythology. I don't really see the point in that, because I feel like a lot of it would just be me having to re-explain how things are similar to Greek mythology but different, and I don't know. What tablet do you use? I use a Cintiq, a Wacom Cintiq. I've ever listened to Hadestown. I'm gonna see Hadestown in, I want to say, a month or two. Are you going to do a video about Celtic mythology? Maybe. I would have to learn about Celtic mythology and see if I like it and if there's enough information to warrant a video. I don't like how small Ares looks next to this as yet unspecified character. So Gonna go into multi-frame mode and scale him up. Oh, it's fine. Okay. Yeah, that's better. He'll be a pain in the ass to actually like have in stuff because he's so huge, but thankfully Ares actually isn't in too many myths. Nothing that I'm planning to do in the near future, I don't think. Draw Kratos. Literally, I have done everything Kratos, like everything Kratos does in mythology, I have already depicted. I'm done with Kratos. Unless I do maybe Prometheus Bound, then I guess he'll have to reprise his role. The video on Apollo's relationships, maybe. There's Daphne. The dude he dated, don't remember his name. There might be material there. Japanese mythology, sure, I'm sure there's material there for me to work with. Yeah, yokai. I feel like I would have to come up with a different formula to make videos on yokai, because I don't know if there's like super specific stories about every yokai, or if it's more just like, yeah, this is this monster, it has these traits, it does this. Thank you for the $5. And yeah, I could see myself doing a video on Apollo. Yeah, maybe just like something on Apollo in general. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not making promises here. I don't know. I have to do research and try to write before I know if something would be good for a video. I might change the color of Ares' armor. I'll do that later. I think now I'm gonna do Artemis. Let's see. This is my original design for Artemis, and I really like it. I like how I designed both Artemis and Apollo. If you're asking whether I would do mythology from any particular culture, the answer is yeah, if I think it would be yes, if I think there is enough material to work with, and if I think it would be in good taste. Like I asked about how I'm like, I tried to kind of gauge how some people would feel if I did Hindu mythology, which I know nothing about, so it would be a long time before I even tried. And it's interesting. Like most of the responses I got regarding Hindu mythology from like people who were Hindu or had some close connection to Hindu culture, the answer was, I would love it if you did a video on Hindu mythology, but a bunch of other people would probably be offended. So now I'm just kind of like, okay, who are those other people? Like, I want to hear from those people. So yeah, it's I don't know. Especially with like modern major world religions. I want to approach those tactfully if I do them. I'm gonna kind of base Artemis off of Apollo's proportions. I think I'm just gonna like kind of trace parts of Paula's face, because they're twins. So, and I realize, you know, they're obviously fraternal twins, but whatever. The big problem is probably referring to it as mythology when there are people who genuinely believe in it. Well, there are people who follow, who still worship the Greek gods as part of their religion. And the word mythology does not imply, I mean to invalidate anyone's beliefs. You're thinking of the word myth in the colloquial sense of like, oh, that's just a myth. Like some widely held false belief. But when I'm talking about myth in the context of mythology, a myth is just I believe like the, you know, Google dictionary definition is a traditional story, closely associated with one's cultural identity, spirituality, something like that. It is kind of a somewhat hard definition to pin down, but in the context of mythology, calling something a myth does not imply you're saying it's untrue. And myths don't like, people think of like, if people believe it, then it's called a religion. If people don't believe it, it's called a myth. That's not how it works. Myths in the context of mythology are part of a religion. They're one component of religion. Others being like dogma, theology. Christianity isn't Christian mythology. Christian mythology is a component of Christianity. Like the stories, like the story of Adam and Eve, that's a Christian myth. There are people who believe that Adam and Eve were real people and all that happened, and calling that a myth does not invalidate those people's beliefs. It's called a myth because it is a story that is closely tied to a culture's tradition. Why is Zeus in purple? No particular reason. I know there are associations between Greek gods with certain colors. I don't remember if Zeus has an association with purple. I just know that purple is just considered kind of a royal color. I think because something like purple dyes were just really expensive back in ancient times or something like that. Yeah, just I don't know, and I guess it just went good with the yellow. Yellow because like electric, you know. Is there a reason we can't write new Greek myths, not our culture traditions nor spiritual beliefs? There's no reason you can't write new Greek myths. I do think like it's important that we distinguish Greek mythology, modern Greek mythology, versus traditional Greek mythology, like historical Greek mythology. Because I think when most people talk about Greek mythology, they're talking about stories that came from ancient Greece. Which is, again, why I can be kind of annoyed by people trying to defend whatever their interpretation on a particular story is with, even though they don't have, like, a source to support it, they'll say, oh, well, there are many versions. It's like, yeah, but like you should be able to find a version that validates whatever point you're trying to make. Like everything we know about historical Greek mythology is based on sources which you can read. You can read these. This is Norse mythology and Egyptian mythology. I don't have any Greek mythology books on my desk right now, but you get my point. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Blah blah. I need to convert that into U.S. currency to know how much you just sent me, real quick. To USD. Thank you for the $5. Really appreciate it. Sorry, it was no joke. I used to pray to Zeus as a kid after watching Disney's Hercules. I thought he was a pretty swell guy. It's funny in retrospect knowing what he really was. That's funny. That's cute. Again, I don't think like people who today worship Zeus see him as a creep or anything like that. I think all that is a reflection of specifically ancient Greek culture and their view on women and how, you know, men are supposed to act and what an ideal father figure looks like. So I wouldn't pin that on Zeus as much as Zeus as like a deity people worship than on specifically ancient Greek culture. Do you think in the future you would want a degree in Greek or any other mythology? Yeah, like, I don't know what my future holds. If I get, like, enough money to spend a lot of time to, like, go to college or something. I've been to college for learning animation. I didn't get any sort of special degree out of it. But yeah, like, I mean, I guess I can just take college courses. Yeah, I should just see, like, if I can just audit courses on mythology. That could kind of help me in learning how to research things better. According to Greek myth, the ideal father is the father to everyone. Well, see, again, I think that's another area where we run into gods aren't humans, so they don't necessarily need to be held to the same standards as humans, because obviously, like, a dude who runs around, like, I don't think the ancient Greeks, if they saw a human dude just running around impregnating a bunch of women, I don't think they would see that person as a good guy. But Zeus isn't a human, he is a god, so he doesn't follow the same rules. Like, to the Greeks, Zeus is like the greatest, best dude ever, so obviously everyone wants his seed. And like, he's doing the world a favor by spreading his perfect, beautiful genes across the world. And it's not like he's like some deadbeat absentee father, because again, he's a god, so just because he's not like physically there for his kids doesn't mean he's not like supporting them in his own way as a god, because you don't interact with gods like you do people. They're not like physically there. They're just kind of, you know, they're everywhere all at once. Like, Zeus is there for you as a father in the same way like Jesus is always there for you, just to use like kind of a modern spiritual comparison. Is there a list somewhere of mythologies I can read and look up? If you're talking specifically about Greek mythology, I would check out theoi.com. I'm going to put that in chat. There, if you just look at any page, like, it's sort of like a wiki. I don't think it's like user edited or anything like that, but it's kind of like a wiki in that there are just pages with articles on like specific figures, and then if you just go down and look for literary quotes, you can see what primary sources things come from, and then you just look at those, and then theor.com actually has like ebooks, like you can read the sources. Oh, $5 from Elaine S. What's your favorite Greek god? Mine is Uranus. I pronounce it like that. And mine is Hephaestus. Bruh, that's Roman. No, Uranus is not. Uranus is the name of the Greek sky god. I forget what the Romans called him. But I don't think it's like after a planet in our solar system. Well, the solar system planets were named after the gods, but I don't know if the Roman equivalent of Uranus was has a planet named after him. Is this arm too long? Who's the Egyptian sky god? Nut. I used to have a nut button. I don't know where that went. No, I don't have a nut button. It's some other button. I wish I had a nut button so I could answer that question with it. Is Uranus even a god? He's the sky itself. Yeah, he's both. That doesn't need to make sense. It's just what he is. I think I think there are ideas that before the Greek pantheon that we recognize was worshipped, there was a more animistic kind of pantheon, and that's where gods like Uranus and Gaia come from. and then they were just kind of over time anthropomorphized as the other Greek gods were introduced. That could be bunk, I don't know, but that's just kind of one way of explaining it. Are Apollo's legs too long? I didn't like how short he was in the original design, so I just literally just stretched his legs up. But now I worry that he looks too weirdly stilty. So many local gods must have been syncretized into larger faith as their religion spread with the Greeks. Yep, that's probably exactly what happened. So I'm probably going to make a video on syncretism in the future, trying to explain what that is. Obviously, I have to do more research of my own to make sure I properly understand what that is. But essentially, in a polytheistic religion, it's not like most monotheistic religions where if someone believes worships a different god than you in a monotheistic religion, then inherently, if you're Christian and someone else is a Hindu, your religion fundamentally contradicts the other person's religion. I know Hinduism is not monotheistic, but from the Christian's perspective, your beliefs are not compatible. They can't both be true. But for polytheistic religions like that of the ancient Greeks, where they didn't even have really a codified belief system, if someone somewhere else worships a different god than you, then you have no inherent reason to doubt them. And if they worship a god that sounds a lot like your god, then it's a reasonable assumption that you're actually worshiping the same god, just under different names, and you might have slightly different stories about them. So what'll happen is, as a culture's pantheon spreads throughout a region, they'll just sort of like absorb gods will just sort of absorb other local gods. And that's often thought to be why Zeus has so many kids, is because as Zeus gained popularity, he absorbed all other chief gods, and in turn basically adopted all of those other gods as kids. Who is the Greek god of the moon? I believe that is Semele. Do you edit your own videos? Yep. I mean, with animation, there's not much editing involved because you're making the cut as you animate. I just like the idea that Artemis has messy hair because she just never takes a shower. Oh, she does bathe. There's literally a story about her, like some guy like creeping on her while she's bathing. Whatever. That was a rare occasion. I don't know why it feels right for Artemis and Apollo's eyes to be covered by their bangs. I just wanted them to have like some like matching twin trait. All right, once I finish Artemis, I'm gonna call it a day, but that'll still be a minute. Who's the Egyptian god of the moon? I believe Khonshu, who I don't know much about. Everyone was asking about him in my Egyptian mythology video because apparently he's in Moon Knight, which I have not watched. But yeah, I'll look up Khonshu and probably make a video about him the same way I did one about Metis. Do you know anything about the Kane Chronicles? Yeah, I read the first book a long time ago. I want to eventually reread all the Percy Jackson books. And then after that, I might check out because I read some of the Heroes of Olympus books. And they were good, but I wasn't as into any of the characters except for Leo, who's the best character that Rick Riordan ever created. At least as far as my memory goes, I honestly don't remember that much about him. Yeah, I definitely want to revisit Percy Jackson and then maybe check out the rest of the Riordan verse. I don't think of the gods as being unkind by nature, but I think Prometheus must be nice since he stuck up for humans. Yeah, for Greek gods, I don't think it's a matter of kind or of like good or bad. I mean, yes, it is, because it's hard. It's hard. I feel it's hard to wrap your head around, and I definitely haven't fully wrapped my head around, but when learning about Greek mythology as someone who is not a person who lives in ancient Greece, it can be easy to see the gods as just assholes, and everything they do doesn't really make sense. And I think that's largely because A, we just follow different cultural standards, and B, to us, the Greek gods only exist in stories, whereas to the Greeks, they exist all the time, everywhere. And like in your mind, you're interacting with them on a daily basis. And in that sense, like, they're responsible for everything good that happens. And they're the ones who are working day and night to make sure the world keeps turning. So I the way I kind of rationalize it is we think of nature, you know, trees, the ocean, stuff like that. Nature, we think of nature as beautiful and important and good, but at the same time, you know, a tornado can destroy your house. That doesn't make nature bad. That's just what nature does. And like, that doesn't change the fact that we rely on nature and that we owe nature everything we have. So I think that's how the Greeks viewed their gods. Is like, yeah, they can cause problems for us, but that's just what they do. And it's not like it's our job to try and understand them and treat them well so that they can treat us well and kind. And they don't owe us anything. Like, we owe them everything. Opinions on Moon Knight? I don't have an opinion because I haven't watched it. As I understand it, to the Greeks, the gods provided everything. Rain on your crops, that's the gods. The ground your home sits on, the gods. Yeah, exactly. They definitely viewed it like that. And another thing important to understand is that when you read Greek mythology from, you know, primary sources, especially from sources like Hesiod and also in a lot of the Homeric hymns, the Greeks thought very lowly of themselves. Like, it comes off like they saw mortal humans as just very low and undeserving of any kindness from the gods. So from that perspective, any shitty thing that the gods do to humans is deserved. Like in the in one of the Homeric hymns to Aphrodite, Zeus makes Aphrodite fall in love with a mortal human, and he's described as like this awesome great dude. But then after and then Aphrodite, she's like made to fall in love with him, and so she comes to him disguised as a human, and then they fornicate. And then afterwards, she reveals himself, and the dude is like, oh my God, I am so sorry. Like, he feels completely unworthy for having lain with a greater being. And then Aphrodite is like, yeah, if you can she's pregnant with his kid. And she's like, yeah, you need to never tell anyone that this happened. And so, like, it seemed like the people who created these stories didn't consider human beings to be anywhere near the same level as gods or deserving of the same amount of respect. And so that's something to keep in mind when you see gods being assholes to humans. In the minds of the people who originated these stories, they might have deserved it. Myths tell us we were made to worship the gods. That's our purpose. So yeah, exactly. Like in the story of Persephone, the reason that the gods are concerned over Demeter causing an eternal winter so that all the humans are dying out, they're not concerned because they're worried the humans are going to die. They're like, oh no, if the humans all die, who's gonna make sacrifices for us? Oh no! And I believe the audience is supposed to be like, oh no, if we die out, who's gonna make sacrifices for the gods? Who's gonna give them all the worship that they deserve? That's the perspective we're supposed to have on it. Did you watch Thor: Love and Thunder? No, I have not. I'm hearing mixed things about it, but I'm not super invested in I'll watch a Marvel movie and I'll probably have a perfectly good time, but I'm not emotionally invested in Marvel. So on one hand, I'll see Marvel movies that everyone loves and be like, eh. But on the other hand, I'll see Marvel movies that a bunch of people are angry about for whatever reason. I'll be like, oh, it's pretty good. So, oh, I forgot the bowstring. Can I ask why you're redrawing the characters? Because I'm using a different program. I originally drew all these characters in Adobe Animate because that's what I animated my videos in. Now I'm using a program called Blender. So I'm redrawing them and kind of refining their designs along the way because I have to. So Her hair was black to represent night. Is that something that was said about Artemis? I don't know. I'm gonna look at her epithets real quick. Because if that were the case, then we'd probably have, like, there'd probably be epithets for Artemis that were like, ooh, the sable-locked goddess. I'm not seeing anything about her hair. Artemis hair color. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about her having dark hair. Was Prometheus imprisoned because he stole fire or made sacrifices favorable towards humans? Both, according to Hesiod. I think Hesiod recounts both reasons. So I imagine those might have been different conflicting reasons that Hesiod kind of put together and decided that it was both. And maybe one might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. But yeah, ultimately the point is that Prometheus, like, he put himself on the line for humanity. Like, he did something to benefit humanity, and Zeus was like, no, humanity sucks, don't do that. And according to Hesiod, definitely, like, Hesiod is very much in the camp of humans suck, Zeus is awesome. So we're supposed to be on Zeus's side in that story. Oop. Yeah, that's good. Ah. Do you think the Greeks thought that the Egyptians were worshiping the same gods as them? Maybe. There are a lot of there is actually a lot of recorded exchange, cultural exchange between Greeks and Egyptians. I know Hermes was syncretized with, oh god, either, I don't quite remember, either Thoth or Anubis. I don't remember. And like there was like there were cults that worship basically like Hermes and some other Egyptian god as basically viewing them as the same god. So yeah, and there's one in the story of Typhon when Zeus is temporarily defeated the gods. It said that like I don't remember what source says this, but it said that the gods fled to Egypt and then put animal masks on, and that's like their way of just explaining where the Egyptian gods came from. I need to remember how exactly I animated this is just... Okay. Is it like, should I emphasize the like shake of her hand a little more, or is it coming across well? No, I think it looks good actually. I think I just want to do one more thing. I want to add a crease to her outfit. There, that looks good. Okay, good. I really like that. I think that's a big improvement from how I originally drew. I could see some people liking my old designs just because they're more rough, less uniform, but I really like how I've been redesigning them so far. All right, I think that's the last one I'm gonna draw. If anyone has more questions, I could just chill and answer questions for a little while. I really should have made tea before. I forgot to make tea before doing this, and now my throat hurts. Is Zeus still the same? Zeus is... I didn't really fundamentally change the design, but he does look better, in my opinion. I just like adjusted the proportions of everything and made the colors a lot brighter. Yeah. Then Demeter, I think Demeter looks a lot. I like the kind of texture patches I added to her outfit. I think Demeter looks a lot better. Hestia, still one of my favorite designs. Hestia definitely looks better. Hera, I think the expression on Hera is a little better. Other than that, not much changed. Her little poof or peacock poof there is smaller. Poseidon, I feel like Poseidon looks a little off now. This was old Poseidon. Gave him eyebrows, maybe that's it. I feel like it looks good. I gave him flip-flops. I feel like that was oh, he does have flip-flops there, but these are more like obviously modern flip-flops. I feel like that was an obvious thing that I totally missed that I should have done from the start. But yeah, he looks good. Hades. I think Hades is overall an improvement. I'm still iffy on how I feel. What's your favorite animal? Cats. By far. Love me some cats. there any other designs that I changed more significantly? Athena just looks more refined. She always looked kind of wonky, but now she looks a lot better. I'm also just like introducing more like consistency. Like everyone has ears now. Like I would skip out on ears for a lot of characters. Hades doesn't have visible ears, but that's because they're like, I guess, under his hood. Yeah, sometimes their ears are covered, but everyone has ears now. It's just one consistency that I've introduced. Also, everyone has hands now. When I redo Odin, okay, so I made a joke about how Odin has just ball hands in a video. So now would it ruin that if I gave him hands in my redesign? Because I'm gonna have to redesign Odin too when I eventually do another Norse video. So I don't know. But yeah, I've definitely got a lot more to do, but I work a lot slower when I'm streaming. That's a big part of it. But it's fun. I think for my next stream, I don't know when that'll be, but maybe I'll play a game. Who knows? I really don't know when it's gonna be. So, and if I make a promise as to when my next stream will be, I definitely won't happen. So I probably shouldn't say anything. But it would be fun to do a game. I feel like I would keep a lot more viewers if I did that. I started with tons of viewers, like 500. Now we're down to about 160, because I feel like a lot of people don't find this to be very entertaining. But if I were to do a game, I think a lot of more people would have enjoyed that. So we'll see. I might do that sometime in the future. Who do you think would take over if Zeus stepped down? Oh god. Well, that's the thing, is like Zeus is supposed to be like the best guy, but probably Poseidon? I don't know. Yeah, I guess Poseidon. That would make the most sense. Or maybe Heracles? Not that I've drawn Heracles. Why is Hades so much skinnier than his brothers? Because I don't know. He just seems like a twink. What do you want from me? It just felt right. Can we do fan art of your character designs? No, that is the last. I would never want someone to do fan art of my design. I wouldn't think that was super cool and flattering. I wouldn't be super honored. No, I'm being sarcastic. Please do. And tweet them at me at JakeW. Jake_W. Who is the strongest god and slowest? Strongest god is Zeus, except when he's not. And slowest god would probably be Hephaestus, because he's just got these. He's disabled. That's pretty definitive answer there, I feel like. Why is your name Jake W? Because my first name is Jake and my last initial is W. If you had to become a Greek god, who would you be? I don't know, Hermes is cool. Which Greek story are you telling next? I don't know. Who knows? Haven't decided yet. I don't know. We'll have to see. Why'd you stop doing lineless art? I don't know. Just felt like doing it with lines. It's just the style I developed for these videos, specifically. Is Hades secretly ripped under the cloak? New headcanon, yes. I guess it's not headcanon. I decide what's canon, and my answer is yes. Have you played Slime Rancher? No. That sounds like a game I would want to play on my own time. Like, that sounds like a relaxing game to just play while listening to an audiobook or something. Can you do other pantheons? I absolutely will in the future, but I don't have any specific plans at the moment. But yeah, I'm sure I will. I mean, I will. I just like don't know what's next on the agenda. Hollow Knight? I love Hollow Knight. I didn't beat it. I spent I played Hollow Knight a couple years ago. Very fun. And I remember just like spending a lot of time trying to get through the like arena tournament, the like the like Coliseum. And I finally beat that, and I think after that I like put it down for a while, and now since it's a Metroidvania, if I tried to just reload from the same save, I'd probably have no idea what to do. So I would probably have to restart it if I wanted to play it again. And at that point, I feel like I may as well just wait for Silk Song. You enjoy Steve Universe? Yeah, it's a good show. What got you into studying mythology? For me, it was Percy Jackson. Yep. That is my answer. All right, well, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate everyone who came to watch. Don't know when I'm going to stream again, but I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. And yeah. Bye-bye.